Hello everyone, my name is Kevin Chariot. I'm an application developer at GeoMarvel. Today I'll be showing you how to get started with the basic ArcGIS AppStudio app. First step, which we're not covering here, is you need to install ArcGIS AppStudio and AppStudio Player from Esri. Once you do that and you start up AppStudio, you will see a similar window as you're seeing here. Let's start creating an app by clicking on this button here. Starting an app from scratch can take a lot of time and resources, so it's great that the team at AppStudio at Esri has put together all the sample code for us so that we can use that code in our own app so that we don't have to start from scratch. Let's start a simple layout by going to the Layouts tab and clicking on Tab Layout and click Create. And once you do that, you'll see that the app we just created has been added to the AppStudio window. Let's start editing some code. To do that, we have a couple of options here. If you click on the app and go to AppStudio Preferences at the top, we can either choose to open this app in Qt Creator or Visual Studio Code. Qt Creator is what I'm going to use in this demo here. So it's already been selected. Let's right-click on the app and click Edit in Qt Creator. You'll see that Qt Creator is opened up with our sample app. And if this is your first time in a QML app or working with AppStudio, you'll notice that this is a lot of code. If it's your first time coding in QML, you may not be entirely sure what's happening here, but that's okay. We can take it piece by piece. Before we start going into the code, let's run this app to see what it looks like right now as it is. To run this app, I can either press Ctrl-R on Windows or press the green button here on the left side of Qt Creator, or I can go back to AppStudio window and click Run on the right side. Since I'll be working from Qt Creator, I'll be pressing Ctrl-R to start this app right now. You'll see that the console starts running and the app renders. Okay, and right off the bat, we see that the app is composed of three main components. The first component is the header bar at the top, which has a title for the page that we're looking at, so we can tell the user what page they're on. You'll see that to the right of the title, there's a menu button that has three options in this case. If I click on them, they'll console log something. So we can attach whatever action we want the app to take to that click event later. The second main component of the app is a center component, which can render any of the text or images that we want the user to see and interact with. And finally, the third component is the Navbar. That's a footer at the bottom that has four buttons in this case. And if I click on them, the center component will update itself to show the item that I just clicked on. Okay, now that we've taken a look at the app to see what it looks like, let's go into the code to see what we can make sense of here. So when we open the app in Qt Creator, you'll notice that the QML page that opens right away is myapp.qml. And in my app component is the component that holds every other component in the app. All right, let's see what the app component contains. So here we see that the app component has an ID property called app. We can call this ID anything. This is what we use throughout the rest of the app so that it knows what we're talking about here. So if we want to refer to the app component from any other page, this is the ID we can use. There's also the width and height property to refer to the width and height properties of the app itself. And also in the app component, you'll see that there are a lot of properties, variables that are defined. These variables can be referred to from the rest of the app with ease because it is contained in the parent component that is the app. And if we move down on the app component here, we'll see that main page is a component. List model is a component with several more children components under list model called list elements. There's a component called component, which has template page in it. A few different instances of that. It looks like that's what's rendering each of these main components in the center here when you click on the Navbar. Thank you for checking out part 1 in this tutorial series on how to get started with creating apps in AppStudio. Be sure to check out parts 2 and 3 to learn more about creating and editing your first AppStudio app.